Hello, my name is Aisha and welcome to another series of Around the World.
The beginning of any war on the global stage is like a fearsome storm that leaves behind destructive marks. The victory in conflicts between two countries may belong to either side, but humanity always suffers in their internal strife. Nowadays, the world is oscillating in the specter of war. Whether it's the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine for the past 2 years or the Israel-Hamas war that started last year, the flames of these internal conflicts are escalating day by day instead of subsiding with time. However, in recent days, seeds of peace have sprouted amid the Israel-Hamas conflict, bringing hope for both sides. On October 7th, Hamas launched an attack on Israel, marking the beginning of a new war worldwide. According to reports, thousands have lost their lives during this period, and millions have been displaced from their homes and forced to relocate from one place to another. Although this conflict has been ongoing for 6 months, each passing day brings new twist here. On one side, there are talks of the conflict ending, while on the other side, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu does not agree to negotiate. Amidst all this, the United States, which had previously vetoed every proposal at the United Nations, including the call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, is now staying away from the war, signaling a shift in the Biden administration's policy towards war. In such a scenario, it is imperative to ask, what is the current status of the Israel-Hamas war? What role does America play in this war? What stance do other countries, including India, have on the matter at present? We will explore the answers to all these questions in this episode. But first, let's understand the background of the Israel-Hamas conflict. On October 7, 2023, Hamas launched an attack on Israel, resulting in the loss of thousands of lives, and Hamas also took about 250 people captive, taking them to Gaza. In response to this attack, Israel has since targeted Hamas and carried out ground and aerial strikes on Gaza. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been ongoing for more than a century, spanning from the United Nations initial partition plan in 1947 to the Yom Kippur War in 1973 and culminating in the Israel-Hamas war that began in October 2023, marking a flashpoint in the conflict. Looking through the windows of the past, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict marks the end of the 19th century. In 1947, the United Nations adopted Resolution 181, known as the Partition Plan, which called for the division of British Mandate Palestine into Arab and Jewish states. On May 14, 1948, the State of Israel was established, sparking the first Arab-Israeli war. The war ended in 1949 with Israel's victory, but over 700,000 Palestinians were displaced and the region was divided into 3 parts: the State of Israel, the West Bank of the Jordan River, and the Gaza Strip. The tension did not stop there. Over time, tensions escalated in the region, especially between Israel and Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Speaking of current circumstances, while on one hand there is an ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, on the other hand, the dialogue process is also progressing. However, so far, no decisive turning point has emerged from these discussions. When it comes to the reliable ally of Israel, the United States, both countries share deep relations. In 1948, the United States was one of the first countries to recognize Israel. Following the attacks by Hamas, President Biden of the United States visited Israel and stated that they stand with Israel. America views Israel as a crucial ally in the Middle East. During the terms of both Democratic and Republican presidents, efforts to preserve the security of Israel have been part of American foreign policy. In 2020, the United States provided $3.8 billion in aid to Israel, and before that, in 2016, America signed an agreement for $38 billion in aid from 2017 to 2028. Therefore, it would not be wrong to say that America not only provides diplomatic assistance to Israel, but also spends millions of dollars to make Israel's military one of the most advanced in the world. In recent days, the absence of the United States from the UNSC proposal, which called for a ceasefire, indicates a significant shift in its stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Critics argue that the non-binding nature of the proposed diminishes its impact and that America's move is seen as a pre-election political strategy. This underscores the escalating tensions between the American administration and the Israeli government. Israel's rejection of American warnings against ground attacks in Rafah highlights the growing rift between them. Israel's ultra-aggressive stance poses a risk to its long-term interest and regional stability. This scenario necessitates Israel to reconsider its approach to this conflict for regional stability and its national interest. On one hand, the United States have clarified its stance, while on the other hand, changes have been observed in the relations of many countries with each other. While several countries openly support Israel, many have justified Hamas, including Iran, Syria, and Qatar, which stand with Hamas. However, most other countries have refrained from taking sides with Hamas. Turkey has called for peace between Hamas and Israel. The news of the UAE imprisoning Israeli citizens and evicting them from their homes has raised concerns. The UAE has stated that citizens from both sides should receive full protection under international law. Additionally, an appeal has been made to the United Nations Security Council to stop Israeli attacks and restore peace. Amidst all this, India maintains a friendship with both Israel and Palestine. However, in the case of Hamas attacks, India has strongly condemned them as acts of terrorism. Well, now it remains to be seen what form this dispute may take in the future. Currently, both sides are poised to annihilate each other. In such a scenario, immediate diplomatic efforts are necessary to prevent such a significant regional crisis. The situation is dynamic and uncertain, so global cooperation is needed to reduce tensions. So viewers, we pause the discussion here for today and take note of today's question. Mention America's role in the Israel-Palestine conflict. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.